Kamen Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of Kamen Rider Ex-Aid episode 21. Real quick here at the start, I'll say this at the beginning of both this and JoJo's review this week. If you hear any slight rattling, I apologize. It's really windy here, and when it's windy, the little cover on my fireplace starts rattling, and the fireplace is like right here. I suppose I could record from somewhere else, but I don't know, I didn't feel like it. But anyway, I might try to figure out how to edit and post since I have a different editing now. But anyway, I just apologize if that happens. So, 21. It was kind of another decent-ish episode for me. I felt like it was mainly just a lot of random fighting. Like, there was a lot of fights in this episode. I mean, it's not like they were, nonsensical? I don't know if that's the right way to describe it. But, like, there was no reason for it. It just felt like we had, like, the same fights happening twice in the episode, and they're just kind of scattered. And then, like, a lot of just kind of confirming things we already knew / theorized-ish. We'll probably get a little bit more of it next week. But mainly we had, Emu going to visit Gennm's dad and basically confirm some things, excuse me, about what Kiryu went to go see him for. Side note, I like how everyone in this episode was acting like Kiryu was their friend for more than 5 minutes. Like, it's just funny because they were such, like, dicks to him until, like, basically 5 minutes before he died. And it mainly kills me because I thought the first time was so stupid. I think that was the first time I really realized how much I hated the logic in Ex-Aid, where, like, Kiryu didn't need to lie about having another friend that died of the Bugster virus. He would have been fine with just the one. And then it seemed like they were just mad at him. They were mad at him for lying about having two friends. And I know it wasn't exactly like that, but it came off as like, well, you're clearly trash because only one of your friends died of the Bugster virus, not two, not even worth our time. But anyway, so that was just kind of funny. Like, so this was like an episode where they acted like they were best friends. But so he went to go find out what Kiryu knew, which is basically that back in Y2K, the original Begins Night / Global Freeze was when it all started, when the Bugster virus first came up online, and it was actually Dan that discovered it. It still weirds me out, his name's Dan. So we kind of just confirmed that. And then, of course, we get our classic Gemn monologuing for this episode. One of the best scenes in the series, though, was when he kicked Emu in the face. I have a problem saying that because, like, his name's M. It should be M, and it should just end there, but because it's Japan, they say Emu, and they add a U to the end. And then it makes me want to say Emu because of, like, you know, the animal. So that's the thing. Because people have pointed that out. I'm like, I know I say it the way, it's just because, you know, it's kind of like when they say boat. It should be boat, and it says boto because of differences in our languages. So anyway, side note. So yeah, I mainly wanted to bring up Gemn being a monologuing villain again because I typically, for whatever reason, maybe it's the language barrier and like reading the subtitles, that I don't notice bad acting as much in Japanese toku. Like I said, just because maybe, like I said, the cultural difference, or not just the language difference, I mean, and like just my focus being pulled to reading. But like in this one, I really noticed, I saw some pretty terrible acting from Gennm's actor in terms of his evil laughter. Like, there was multiple evil it just came off as really bad. It was like supposed to be an evil laugh, and it was like, ha ha ha. I was like, wow, that was terrible. Like, he's usually like over the top, but I'm like, wow, that was kind of trash, to be honest. But yeah, so that was a thing. It did kind of lend a little bit more, we knew he was doing it, but like this episode obviously reinforced it. It's a little bit more credence to why he keeps showing up to get killed, is because he's gathering the data on death from him and from absorbing like Renamon style so that he can become level X. They found out, you know, the actual group found out about the level X thing, which is kind of a neat way, like a reasoning to have Dangerous Zombie around into such a cool suit, and like a reason why he's still a threat when like level 50s and whatnot are starting to pop up. And then he sort of revealed to them what his plan for Kamen Rider Chronicle is, which, when I sit there and think about it, it's kind of like, in a loose-ish way, that he's basically constructing the conditions of what Gaime's world was going to be like. Meaning that, like, in Gaime's world before, you know, everything happened, basically Yggdrasil was planning for the world to be overrun by Helheim, and then, like, only select people that could get it were gonna get Sengoku drivers to fight for their lives. And so basically, Kamen Rider Chronicle is kind of like that, but without the threat of Helheim. Instead, it's just him unleashing Bugsters and drivers to fight. So it's basically like that without the stakes. And Genm's basically like a crazier, less thought out version of Ryoma, where Ryoma was just like, my devices are, and he was like obsessed with his technology, but I don't know. It's just kind of, that's what I was getting from it. Something else in this episode I wanted to point out that I thought was kind of funny was in the beginning of the episode when Emma was trying to like investigate what was going on with this case of this patient, and Brave kept saying like, oh, we're doctors, we're not supposed to investigate things. And I find that really funny because, well, A, because they keep referring to fighting as writers as an operation. It's not. I get it, it's the doctor theme, but they're like, you're interfering with the operation, or you're not qualified to operate. I'm like, dude, he's just punching. Like, that's not an operation. But I think it's funny that they use that correlation, but then like, it's funny because I get what they meant. Like, oh, you're a doctor, you're not supposed to be playing detective, like, you know, investigating a murder or a crime. But like, the way they presented it, it was funny because that doctors do investigate things. It's called diagnosing. And I just, the idea with me was then funny of like a patient coming in to see Hiro and like not knowing what was wrong with them. Because you never know what's wrong with you exactly when you go into the doctor. You know, like you don't know whether it's something that needs antibiotics or it's just a cold, you know, whatever. But it's just, I like the idea of like a patient coming in to see Hiro and they're like, well, I don't know what you have. I'm not a cop, we're not supposed to investigate things, good day to you, sir. And then the patient just walks away undiagnosed, so I thought that was funny. It was just, yeah, anyway. But I don't have too much else to say. It was just kind of average-ish for me. We'll see how next week goes. I think we'll get a little bit more stuff about Dan, and he's going to be like shirtless and stuff, and probably crazy. And it'll be interesting to see how long he lasts still, or if he's going to become that green-looking Gemn. I can't remember if it was actually called Kamen Rider Chronicle, or whether it's Chronos? That was Mick, but I don't know. But like, it's from the scans, it basically looks like the base of Genm's suit, but it's kind of green. It's kind of not a fun upgrade. I'm not sure, unless the scan said something and I didn't see it, but I'm not sure if it's going to be him or somebody else. It could be his dad, who knows. But yeah, so overall I'd probably give this episode a 6.5. But anyway, until next time, make sure you have the Crazy Podcast at writersrangerjournals.com, and of course don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, Dawson Rider.